So in this video, we're going to talk about how to measure an angle. And that might seem very basic, but it's a little bit more than it may appear when you're dealing with trigonometry. So if we had the two following angles made with the line segments AB and BC connected at the vertex B, and another angle that is exactly the same in appearance. And if it doesn't look to be, that's because I drew it wrong. But just know these are meant to look exactly the same. If we wanted to measure these two angles, in trigonometry, we cannot just say that the measurement of the angles is between these two values. That's more of a geometry approach because you're dealing with triangles in geometry. In trigonometry, you have angles off in space. So when you measure them, you need to know something called the initial side and the terminal side. To measure an angle, you begin at the initial side and you rotate counterclockwise to the terminal side. If you rotate clockwise, you are actually creating a negative angle. So, in this example of these two angles, let's say that we'll call this side of this angle the initial side, and we'll call this side of the angle the terminal side. And we'll do the opposite for this angle. We'll call this the terminal side and call this the initial side. And let's see what kind of difference it makes. If we begin rotating counterclockwise for each of these examples, we start at this initial side and we start rotating. And we continue all the way until we reach this side. And this entire shape that almost looks like a Pac-Man is actually the measurement of the angle. Whereas in this example, this is the initial side, and if we begin rotating counterclockwise, we will stop very quickly reaching the terminal side. Notice how different these two angles actually are, depending on where the initial side and terminal sides are. Now, it's important to note that the initial side is not always given. You'll always have a terminal side, but not always an initial side. And the way to find out if you have where the initial side is, that is to say, is let's say we have some terminal side given to us. Our angle will start at the origin and go in some direction that becomes the terminal side of the angle. But where's the initial side? Well, in mathematics, we say that the positive x-axis is the initial side if the initial side is not given to you. Meaning if we wanted to measure this angle with this terminal side, we would begin at the positive x-axis and rotate counterclockwise until we reach the terminal side, and this would be our angle. So remember, always start with the initial side when given, and if not, begin with the positive x-axis.